Hello everyone! Today we're going to be making dragon eyes. To begin, with your pencil, draw a hill in the middle of your paper. Draw a small C for the tear duct, and then a smile line for the bottom edge of the eyelid. The iris is going to be diamond shaped, or in this case it's kind of a pointed teardrop, and then an extra line for the lid. Next, you'll plan out what color your eye is going to be. So my dragon's eye will be pinks and purples, and I've organized my colors from lightest to darkest. You could choose golden colored eye, green eyes, blue eyes, any color, but choose 3 shades in that color, starting with the lightest in the middle, and then working your way to the edges using darker and darker values. So that way we can get a nice 3-dimensional effect. So I'm using my middle purple, and then I'm transitioning to a darker purple for those corners. You don't need to color every single part because we're going to be using our finger to do some blending next. For the finger, you want to start blending the lightest values first. That way you have only that color on your finger. Using small circular motions, you'll kind of wiggle around starting near the center. I'm blending in all of my pinks, and then I slowly am going over to the edges and starting to pick up those purples and the darker values. Blend everything in. All right, next we're going to use black to trace over our pencil lines. So you're going to be outlining your eye with the black, and then we're going to smudge the black to make it appear softer. Everything's going to have that soft blended look to it. I'm also tracing the pupil, and once everything is traced, I can color it in and then quickly blend it. Notice that the chalk pastels are making some dust. You want to be very careful not to blow the dust. So I usually just tap mine on the table and then I'll wash it off later. If you have a lot, you can always walk it over to the garbage can. All right, next we're using white for highlight. So I highlighted the eyelid, the tear duct, and then now I'm adding the eye shine. I'm doing this rounded square. You could do circles, you could do a few different size circles, and then again, you're blending those in. Next, we're going to begin working on our scales. So we're going to do 2 different types of scales. Closest to the eye, I'm going to do these long rectangular shape scales. You can choose any type of shape you want, but you want to make sure that you are doing the scale pattern by offsetting the next layer of scales. So wherever there's an opening, there's a new scale there. After I've drawn the scales, I'm going to choose a color. So my dragon is going to be a blue and green dragon, which goes along with my paper. So you want to plan out what color paper you use to help you figure out the color of your dragon. So I have square green ones closest to the eye. Now I'm going to start filling in the rest, and I'm doing this big scalloped scale. Again, it's that offset pattern, and I'm filling the entire page with this. So these scales could be all the same color, they could all be a different color. And you can see I chose a blue that's kind of close to the color of my paper, so I don't need to color in the entire space. It makes it go a little bit faster, which is nice. So then you take your time and smudge. Smudging carefully is important. You don't want to smudge the entire thing. That would be very messy. You want to smudge each scale individually. It does take more time this way, but it's totally worth it. At the end, I just like to touch up my highlights, and then you're uploading on Artsonia.